friends and viewers. Um, I take this opportunity to introduce the 200 hours Yin Yoga teacher training course at Vishuddhi Isha Yoga. I've already given the introductions for the two other teacher training courses, and if in case you are interested in 200 or 300 hours yoga therapy or 200 hours Kundalini yoga, then we have upcoming schedules in January, February and March. So you can always go on the website and explore and read more about the courses which you want to join with us. So in this introduction and video, I would like to introduce myself a bit. Well, I'm Pradeep Kumar. I'm the lead teacher for the Yin Yoga, Kundalini and the Yoga Therapy teacher training courses. So whatever you find on the website, I also teach Ayurveda, Yoga. So we have other teachers as well. And if you are interested to know about the other teachers, then you can go on the teachers page and read the profiles of our teachers. You can also wish to interact with them personally if in case you are more curious and interested to know them personally. We always encourage the students and the participants to have a direct interaction with teachers, because teachers are everything. If you are coming to learn here, then school is okay. I mean, you might want to look the website, which is pretty fair, because you would like to view the website about accommodation, about location, about connectivity within Goa and with the other part of the world where you belong, where you're coming from. But the most important and the crucial aspect is actually the teacher, because you're going to learn directly from the teacher. And as Vishuddhi Isha Yoga believes in imparting authentic traditional yogic and Ayurvedic education to people here, so we follow the traditional principles where the interaction and the connection between teacher and student is extremely important. It's not that you have paid for the course, you've joined the course, so it's kind of a formality that you have to learn. No. So we encourage you to know us, and we would also like to know you, which is the part and parcel of the pre-registration or inquiry process. And we always encourage you to ask questions on email, have a Skype session, or we can also text on WhatsApp. So limiting my personal introduction here a bit, because I've also said about it in other videos, and you can also read on the teacher's profile. I think when I'm talking to you, I'm already introducing myself. My history, when I started, is important, but not so important than how you connect with me, my energy when I'm teaching, my communication, my knowledge part. You can always know from my blog section on the website. All the blogs are written personally by me and contributed. Few are contributed by teachers as well, but most of the blogs are contributed by me. And you can also watch my other videos where I've been talking about yoga, different techniques and methods of yoga and Ayurveda on our YouTube channel, which is very new, but we are trying to create new content, trying to expand the content so that people can know us and understand our teaching methodology as well. Moving ahead, I started my yoga journey in my childhood, but I learned from different teachers. My mother was a yoga teacher, and apart from that, I traveled a lot learning, teaching. So I think teaching is also a learning. So you keep learning. As you teach, you learn, and you grow as a teacher and an individual. So talking about myself, I started my yoga journey long time back when I was a child, because I've been studying yoga for a pretty long time, on and off. I left in between, because life is about phases, and there are certain situations and compulsions in your life that actually throws you out of your center sometimes, and I'm not an exception here. I am a teacher, but I am also a human being. So basically, I had ups and downs in my life, which we all have, and that also shaped up my journey as a teacher and as a yoga practitioner. And I also learned from my mom, I also learned from other teachers, and I'm still learning. Learning never stops. I officially teach everything that you find on my website, so I will not start listing all those things, because I already said you can go on my website and see whatever is there I teach, and I have other teachers as well. Basically, I would like this opportunity to introduce what we teach in the 200 hours yoga teacher training course, Yin Yoga teacher training course, and also what is Yin Yoga. I won't really devote my time a lot here telling you about accommodation and why you should join Vishuddhi, Isha Yoga and all that trivial information, because it is on the web page and it would be a mere repetition on my part to do it here. In this particular video, I would like to create more awareness about Yin Yoga. Because it's a new form of yoga, especially for professionals to opt it as a teacher training course. So it is very important that I emphasize more on it. Yin yoga comes basically from the Tantric, Taoist and the Chinese yoga systems. However, it is nothing different than the Vedic traditional Indian system. I tell you why, because it's just a change of the name. Because spiritual knowledge existed in different parts of the world, in different cultures, with different names and languages. Essentially, few cultures they developed it more, and few others they shunned it. They didn't develop it based on what was the socio-political environment existed at that point of time when it was spreading. So we also faced a time when a lot of information was destroyed and suppressed and couldn't be propagated. But by and large, you find a lot of similarity in whichever part it flourished. You find a lot of similarity. So Yin Yoga is not an exception. So it finds its name from the Taoist tradition, where in Vedic Indian tradition, Yin means Ida and the Yang means Pingla. So if you have been a student of Hatha Yoga traditional system, then you must have got, or Kundalini Yoga, then you must have been introduced to Ida and Pingla. These are the two basic primary nadis actually, which spread into different nadis. They have their own network and then they merge into Shushumna, which is the main nadi, or the through which the Kundalini flows up through the chakras. So without going too much descriptive about Ida, Pingla and Shushumna, all I'm trying to say that it is a substitute, or the name substitute of Ida and Pingla, which is Yin and Yang. Yin is basically, as I said, it's Ida Nadi. So basically it denotes the moon, feminine energy, which is more receptive, which actually controls our imagination, our mental thought process and our chitta. Okay, so all creativity, all imagination, all thought processing going on, and also tolerance, patience, relaxation, stability, contentment. All these qualities are nothing but coming out from the Yin force within us. Remember, these forces exist within us. It's not that women are having only Yin or the man are only having Yang. No, we have both energies within us. But it might predominate, Yin energy might be predominantly present slightly more in women as compared to men, and vice versa. But we need to have a balance of both, whether we are men or women. So whereas the Yang energy is basically denoted by sun, which further denotes dynamism, movement, initiation, and what do you call a force which helps you to move. It is also a creative force, but it's more about movement. It's more about doing activity from moving from one place to the other place. That also has its own significance, because if you want to get something done, only mere imagination is not needed, only concept of planning is not needed. We also have to execute it. So execution part is controlled by the Yang force, and we know the importance of creative people. We also know the importance of people who really manage things and do things on the field, on the ground. So the combination of that we are talking about. So now I'm going to talk more about, in the Yin Yoga teacher training, the course is mostly about the controlling or balancing our Yin and Yang, but the techniques are based on Yin. Why? Because we already do Yang, and I'm going to tell you how. See, in the modern world, the practicing of Yin Yoga has definitely a lot of significance than it used to be in the history or in the past. Why? Because in the past people were having a balance of yin and yang, but as the time progressed, we in the present contemporary times are very much stressed, are very much living a fast-paced life, which denotes the abuse of the yang and yang energy. So for giving an example and illustration, let's say how stressful people are. They want to be at so many places at the same time. They want to do so many things at the same time. So doing a lot of things has become something that is very desirable, unfortunately. So the outcome is that we basically get stressed out, we get burnt out, and we basically get stressed on emotional, mental, and physical level, which leads to disorders, which leads to painful condition, eventually to big diseases, and also incurable diseases sometimes, like fatal diseases if we don't really address it at the right time. So all I'm trying to tell you that in the contemporary modern times we are more living a yang lifestyle, and when people practice power yoga, when people practice dynamic yoga, that is also basically a yang kind of yoga, which actually activates the yang energy within you. You know, a lot of movement, a lot of challenge, a lot of activity, a lot of twisting of body and proving something. I'm not saying it is good or bad, so don't get me wrong here. All I'm trying to say that what we need is what we need. So here, if we are burnt out, if we are stressed, if we are really losing energy, we feel exhausted, and we don't have enough resources within our mental, emotional, physical plane to keep going, then it's an indication that probably we need to balance our yang with introducing some yin energy, so that we can again go back to balance and replenish ourselves in a better way. If we would have been extremely lazy and lethargic and sluggish, then we need to introduce a bit of more yang energy and yang kind of practices of yoga, where we need to activate more sun energy, or the dynamism and activism, where, you know. So it's all about balance. It's not choosing one at the cost of other. It's about creating a perfect balance which helps you to integrate these two life forces, and that is the base of Kundalini Yoga also. So let me tell you that, as I said, names are different, but yoga is not different. It's known by different names, but fundamental philosophy is same, right? Because we are just used to practicing things by defining it first. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that as well. So doing too many things become interesting for us. But no, if you study yoga philosophy, you can integrate all different styles and forms and understand it as a wholesome subject or concept, and live it also and apply it as well. Coming back, so in yin yoga, basically what we are trying to do, we are trying to relax more. We are trying not to reach anywhere. We are trying to manipulate our energy meridians, which are connected to different organs, and move the prana from one point to the other by holding those postures. Along with the posture, we also manipulate the breath and different other yoga techniques we practice here, so that we create an energetic channel through which we can stream the flow of prana in a better way and remove the energy blocks. So as you must be knowing, if you have studied meridians and the mama points, then each and every nadi is connected to certain mama points, which creates a network, and that network feeds to your particular organ. So basically, if you have an energy, there is a system for energy, right? And this particular nadis are also connected to chakras. So chakras are like the main station, or the hubs, or the vortexes which spins, and then the energy moves to the nadis, which is connected to the network of smaller nadis, more finer nadis, or the pathways to different organs. So if you find any problem in a specific organ, it means there's some blockage in that network of small network of nadi feeding to that organ. So yin yoga helps in releasing the blocks, because as you engage any asana for a longer period in a more relaxed and easy, steady way, then that particular energetic manipulation can happen. But if you are moving your body too fast, if you're not staying longer in the poses, then that energetic manipulation couldn't happen because you moved out of that posture and it didn't actually work on your muscles, joints and your blood circulation. It couldn't press those points long enough to kickstart that particular energy manipulation which was needed. So in yin yoga, what we are trying to create is a balance between yin and yang, but because we have more, if we have a yang issue, then the only way to heal ourselves is to relax. So you must have done yoga nidra. Yoga nidra is a very yin, is a yin aspect of yoga, right? And why we do it? Because yoga is always about activity, relaxation, relaxation, activity, activity, relaxation. That's how it also signifies the importance of both at the same time, following or preceding one after the other. But the people who want to practice yoga like a competitive sport or like a 100-meter sprint athletic race, I'm sorry to say this form is not for you, because first you have to reset your mind and understand the philosophy and principle here. You cannot actually be in the active mode all the time. You must have heard about the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So both are designed to complement each other. One is for activating your mind so that you can go and do your work, you can be active, and one is triggered when there is too much of activity so that you can relax. And also remember, if you must have heard that healing happens when you relax. When we relax, normally when we sleep, but sleep is meant for relaxation. And if you go to any doctor and talk to that doctor about importance of sleep, then the doctor would tell you that yes, sleep is very important. You must sleep ideally 6 to 7, minimum 7 hours in a day based on your needs. I mean, if you're very stressed out person or do a lot of physical, mental work, probably you need 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So, and why you need that? Because you rejuvenate, you replenish, you balance your hormones, its secretions, all your metabolic activity is controlled by your brain, and every organ should be relaxed. Because even if you drive your car, you also need to stop it and let the car to rest, its machinery to rest, give some break. Likewise, we also need to give some break to replenish and rejuvenate our organs which are continuously working. So the philosophy of this particular course is actually to introduce yin yoga lifestyle, introduce the philosophy of yin yoga and the approach so that you can benefit from it. And let me tell you that it is immensely beneficial, it is quite therapeutic. I would rather not hesitate to call it a yin yoga therapy teacher training course. However, the reason why I've chosen not to do so, because I have a separate yoga therapy teacher training course for clarity and for purpose when people come to learn with us. So it is itself very therapeutic. And if you are a student of yoga therapy, or if you have inclination towards healing side of yoga, then you might be interested to join this beautiful course. Also a little bit talking about how it works, in your body. So I won't go in anatomy and physiology because I don't really want to devote this session to go in specifics. But I would like to stress upon the fact that it's very therapeutic in the sense that it helps to manipulate the pranas and release the blockage, and so it not only improves the blood circulation on the parts where the blood circulation was sluggish, but it also helps to heal those tissues and muscle strands, and especially connective tissues. So because your bones and joints are made of, our joints are made of connective, you have connective tissues there. So basically when you do a power yoga vinyasa style, then it's more stronger on your muscles, but not so much healing for your joints. So if you want to be flexible, stronger, with your straight body and posture in your old age, then you have to start practicing yin yoga from now. So because a lot of people face a lot of joints issue, a lot of people lose their posture because their joints become weak. And listen, I mean, you cannot really replace your joints. I mean, there are advanced medical techniques but sometimes it costs a lot and it's not the same. So basically, we have to protect our joints, we have to heal our body, prevent our body to become diseased if we are going wrong. We all go wrong here and there. Nobody's perfect because we are exposed to a kind of food, environment, lifestyle, mental toxins, physical toxins, environmental toxins coming and interacting within our system, which needs to be eliminated. And this would immensely help you to heal yourself, to rejuvenate your organs, to become more flexible. Even if you want to become flexible, flexibility would come through yin yoga. However, if you're not just looking for flexibility but also to go deeper into more meditative state, then you cannot meditate if you are like all the time, shaking. If you're thinking too much, if you're all over the places all the time, then you can't meditate. For meditation, you need to relax your mind, you need to be at one place. So this form of yoga helps you to go inward, to go inside you, so that you can sit at one place and focus on your breath, focus on your chakras and your psychic centers, and connect your chitta, which is your imaginative visualizing force, at your psychic centers, so that you can feel that experience, that bliss and peace that we are looking out for. Basically, it's all about happiness. Whatever we do in life is we are trying to achieve happiness out of it. Otherwise, why would we do it? So if we are practicing yoga, eventually we want to have a better experience through our life based on whatever we do. We can have different interests, different path, different job, different ways to relax and go out and do things. But eventually we want to master that skill so that we can get the best and the most out of whatever we do, in order to have a rich experience. And rich experience would yield to our growth and satisfaction, contentment, which would eventually lead to happiness. And if you keep collecting and accumulating this happiness, like you collect the money in your bank account and you keep getting interest, it becomes bliss. What I'm trying to do here, you must be wondering why I'm speaking a lot about yin yoga. You can always see my other videos, which I'm going to record very soon in the few days time, about yin yoga, because a lot of people don't even know why they should do yin yoga teacher training. So because it is something that have come up in quite recent years, maybe 2 or 3 years, that this form of teacher training has been introduced by very selected schools in India or in other areas otherwise. But Vishuddhi Isha Yoga believes in teaching yin yoga and spreading this form of yoga because we sincerely, genuinely need it right now. And a lot of people in my country also, my country is not an exception, but especially in the Western societies, the lifestyle is very fast paced. So more is better. So do more, use your mind more. And everybody is very independent, which they are not, but it's a false notion. They feel they are independent because even the word dependent has in. Dependence means nobody is perfectly independent. Only an enlightened yogi who is connection with the divine and the universe and has an access of all the universal knowledge and the true spiritual wisdom can be called independent to some extent. Yogis also have to be dependent on the farmers who produce food, the people who produce clothes, and even the transportation, the flight which they take to travel from one place to the other for their spiritual activities. So basically, do not try to be independent because it's a false notion. We are not really independent. It's beautiful to be dependent, and that's the way the universe has created this world and nature. So in this fast-paced world, when we have a lot of ignorance, we are burnt out, we are stressed, we have so many disorders in our bodies. People try to fix themselves through yang. They are increased the yang, and now they are trying to do yang style of yoga, hoping that they would fix it. But on the contrary, they get injuries. So it is really fascinating that I was reading a blog few months back about how to avoid yoga injuries. I mean, the content and the title of that vlog itself is flawed, because we shouldn't have got injuries through yoga in the first place. If we would have done yoga as per the said Patanjali, what he writes in Sthiram Sukhamasana, which is yoga posture should be steady, relaxed, with a relaxation of effort, easygoing, so that we can actually stay longer in that. You cannot stay longer in a pose if you're really trying hard. Your body will knock you out. But basically, if you want to stay longer, you have to choose a posture which your body can stay longer, and you develop with your practice and increase it, the duration of your stay. So if you don't practice the philosophy, then of course we go wrong. As I already said, if we don't follow the rules of the sport, we can call it a street sport, but not a professional sport. So having said that, here we are going to heal ourselves with relaxation. If my heart is throbbing, because if my heart is like going fast because I've been running, I have to catch a flight or catch a bus, maybe I reached late on the bus stop, what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep running, or I'm going to just relax? Well, I'm going to relax. So if you have not slept for 1 day or 2 days because you're traveling and you feel exhausted. Why you feel exhausted? You feel exhausted because the natural response of the body that you're going crazy, you're supposed to relax now. You're not designed to work like that. So basically the body start tiring. Your mechanism starts going slow and slow, so that you sleep. It's a protective mechanism for the body. That's a survival. That's the way that our body has such a beautiful intelligence, unless we don't interfere with its intelligence and keep superimposing our intelligence on it. So in this course, we are going to unlearn our inappropriate ways of practicing yoga. If you want to join this course, be prepared not to be fascinated with power yoga, because that's not going to happen in this course. We are not going to practice challenging asanas here, because you can't stay longer in the poses. And the purpose here to make you stay longer in the poses, held them long, and try to be one with your breath. Try to focus on your energy meridians, or your chakras, your psychic points, and go inward. And you reach a stage when you can actually meditate for some time, if not for 1 hour. Who can meditate anyways for 1 hour? So then you can actually meditate for some time there, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's advanced. So asana practice is gentle, restorative. You held your poses longer. In the beginner stage, you will hold your poses as much as you can. But because we don't believe in forcing, there's nothing called force in the dictionary of yoga. But we encourage you to stay longer. And then with the passage of time, when you keep practicing, the intermediate stage is holding for like 2 to 3 minutes to 4 minutes, and the very advanced stage is like holding for 10 to 12 minutes. Some people claim to hold even for 20 minutes, but wait a sec, yoga is not a competition. So do not focus what others are doing, because what others are doing is not the business of our life. Our business is what we are doing and what we feel. Our life is an outlook of our own self. Our life is a spectacle of our own self. We see the world from ourselves, not from somebody else's eyes. So there's no competition here, and you are definitely going to enjoy learning this beautiful style of yoga, which is yin yoga. It doesn't mean that we won't have yang techniques here. We would have a predominantly yin yoga techniques, but we would also teach you some yang asanas, because as I said, you need to balance. And by the end of the course, you would understand what is yin yoga, what is the teaching methodology, what is the purpose of practicing, how you should be teaching it to your students, to whom you should be teaching what, which asanas, designing the sequence for yin yoga based on different issues people are having. We would also understand how to design a 45 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes yin yoga class for anybody, quote unquote, with some precautions which you should take anyways. If you're a yoga instructor and teaching into group, you should always have information about your students' health condition. because you don't want somebody to collapse in your class because you never asked about it and you made that person do something which was not meant for him or her. So obviously that is a basic guideline for any yoga instructor or teacher, and you should know that. But you would also understand how to heal certain disorders. This is not a yoga therapy course, and we are not going to do the case studies for treating disorders as we do in the yoga therapy course. So if you are particularly interested to understand the therapy yoga and learn the yoga therapy anatomy and physiology, then I would encourage you to learn yoga therapy teacher training course. But if you want to learn yin yoga and become and teach yin yoga, and along with that you are the one who is interested to address people's disorder more than any hatha yoga teacher or generic teacher, then this course is for you. That gives you a certain professional edge for your personal healing also, and as well as for your students. So this was my effort and my endeavor to make you understand about yin yoga. It's not enough, it's too vast, but I just can't keep speaking about yin yoga here because my job is to actually talk about few other things as well. So is this course for you? Well, if you have been practicing yoga for almost a year or two, and not necessarily you have done a teacher training before, but you have been practicing, you have been studying yoga, you have been going to drop-in classes of some good teachers who have been guiding you, and you have built your practice already. Even if you haven't been practicing regularly, but have been sincere about studying yoga or practicing it on and off, then this course is for you. It's a foundation beginners course. If this course is for you, if you're a serious student of yoga, because Vishuddhi Isha Yoga invites only serious, dedicated students. Serious doesn't mean that you are already a teacher, because I have met a lot of teachers who are not serious. Self-proclaimed teachers I'm talking about. So you can be serious either as a practitioner or as a teacher. What I'm talking about is a down-to-earth, humble, open attitude to learn. And when we learn something from someone, sometimes we have to unlearn. Because if we have that stuff in our head which cannot be accommodated or substituted with something else to some extent, then it stops us, it doesn't allow us to learn. So that is a very natural and important quality of any student. And this course is also for you if you want to become a yin yoga teacher, or you're already a teacher of hatha yoga or any other style, but you would also like to integrate the yin yoga methods for certain students who have been asking for yin yoga classes from you, and you want to extend that offering in your studio or in your teachings to them now. Eligibility criteria is very simple. This is a beginner's teacher training course. We do not expect you to be an excellent teacher to be a part of this course, because of course it's 200 hours foundation teacher training course. However, you would learn a lot here. The teacher training courses in Vishuddhi Yoga, especially 200-hour teacher training courses, are quite exhaustive, and we teach a lot more than any other school, and we are proud to claim that. And if you have any doubt, I would rather encourage you to go on the website and read the syllabus, and you would find out that yes, we learn a lot here, and we do everything practically. So every single day you practice 80% of the everything that we do. We have a very long practice session in the morning, which is 3.5 hours without break. So 3.5 hours is a lot of practice in the morning to do, to keep learning, and there's nothing better than practicing. Practicing is the best way to learn. You know, when you do it, you understand it better, and that's what you're going to do here. There's certain eligibility criteria. We don't believe in inviting here, not because people shouldn't have come, it's just because we understand that we have a certain way of teaching. We have a certain way of teaching yoga, and our teaching methodology might be different than what you might be expecting. And also we have a code of conduct, we have a discipline, we have minimum expectations from our students to follow that code of conduct and discipline, and connect, most importantly, connect with Vishuddhi Isha Yoga and the teachers. Right now, if you're watching me, if you feel connected, you can go ahead. If you don't feel connected, close the video, jump to somebody else, no problem. Everybody is not going to learn from us. and we are not supposed to teach to everyone. So we are selective for the simple reason because we really want to create a beautiful learning and teaching experience for everyone, for teachers and for the people who are going to join us. It's a teamwork. Course cannot be successful without the support of students, and without good teachers and committed, dedicated teachers, students can never be happy learning anywhere. So we can assure you that we are extremely committed, and you would learn from the normally 2 or 3 teachers teach in one teacher training, and I teach a lot of that actually, 70 to 80%. So you would mostly learn from me. If you want to know me more, you can watch my videos in blogs, and you can also talk me one-to-one for your specific questions. I'm really happy to assist you in any further query you might be having. So eligibility is you have a Skype interaction with the lead teacher. I'm the lead teacher, so you have to have a Skype interaction with me. I will ask you certain questions, and based on your questions, we will estimate or make an assessment if you are deemed feasible enough to learn with us, and then you can also make your own call while talking with us. We want our students to come with confidence. We don't want them to behave like they have booked a yoga course and they don't know anything about it. That's really not good, because you land up with a lot of fears and a lot of confusions, and fears and confusions are good for nothing, especially for academic courses like teacher training courses, where you're attaching a lot of importance with your career, your expectations to course reach somewhere, your investment, your travel, your money. We do value that, and we also value our time and effort. So we want to teach to those people who feel connected to us, who want to come and learn with us, who can commit to our code of conduct and discipline, who can fulfill that minimum expectation that we have for themselves. We don't have any expectations. We don't get anything out of that. Teachers are here to give. Basically, it's about how much you can take from us. And we believe in giving. So, moving ahead, I would also like to tell you that a lot of information is there about exam, evaluation, course syllabus. I'm not going to run you through the course syllabus because it's there on the web page, and I would just waste my time and your time here. There's accommodation. If you want to know about accommodation, please go on the gallery and the accommodation video. We have made a very beautiful clip for you where we actually show you a 360-degree view of yoga shala, of cottages and the basic rooms where we practice. It's a beautiful beach, and one of the best beaches, and my favorite to be. It's a very yogi beach where we are, luckily. But you can go on website and find more about it. So that information is there. Before I finish this video, I just want to talk about the most important aspect, that this course would help you to become a professional instructor, if not teacher, at least. You would get the skills for the instructions, you will understand the techniques, you will understand how to adjust, how to give variations and adjust over there. Then you will gain confidence standing in the front and instructing, moving around, adjusting and helping students. We work with small groups, so it's not very overwhelming for people to do that. And we have a very friendly atmosphere. So nobody's judging anyone. We all are learning, and even for teachers, it's a learning experience with every group, you know. So you would also gain a lot of knowledge, and we are a school who gives a lot of importance and emphasis on yoga philosophy. So if you are the one who doesn't like philosophy, you shouldn't be coming to this school, because we believe that with weak foundation you cannot have strong structure. So if you want to become a really good teacher to contribute to this world and also for yourself professionally by earning through it, then still you need to do it as per the philosophy. And if I think, I don't know about others, but I personally feel that the reason I am into yoga profession is not because I wanted to be a yoga teacher. I was always a teacher. I was teaching something else to people before. I was a corporate soft skill trainer. worked in different countries and also in India, but I left it because I thought that I need to grow. I need to grow as a teacher. I found teaching yoga as the best way of imparting um, something which can bring changes to people's life very evidently. Okay, so even if you want to transform yourself, being a teacher, our goal and endeavor should to transform ourselves first, and for that we have to practice yoga as per the true ethos and the principles of yoga, which we come to know from Patanjali Yoga Sutras or yoga philosophy. So that would be a core part, and it's very interesting way I explain it. I will also upload my videos on YouTube on yoga philosophy very soon, and you would watch them probably, and if you feel connected and you understand what is the teaching methodology here. I'm trying to just explain you here. Exam and evaluation is there. If you have joined this course, doesn't mean that you earn the certification by default. I always repeat this in all the videos, and even the first day orientation when we give you detailed guidelines for your course and run you through with everything in few hours. But here also I'm taking this opportunity to let you know that your fees is being consumed for tuition as a tuition fee, boarding and lodging. Certification is a different thing. You don't buy certificate from us. Whatever effort we are putting to impart the education to you, your accommodation, your meals, whatever you have opted for, that goes for that. But certification is completely your effort. If you pass the course, and the 50% is minimum passing, if you pass the course, you deserve to get the certificate. And your discipline, your attendance in the course, your attitude towards the teachers, your classmates also matters. We have a strict disciplinary code. It's not strict that you suffocate, but any good yoga school should have a discipline and code of conduct because it's good for everyone. And it's for a reason. So it would be very easy for you to pass this course if you are a dedicated, sincere, committed student and not the one who is distracted with other things happening around. If your focus is on your studies, if your connection is with the teacher and you're expressing yourself in a positive way, if you are positive minded, then of course you would pass the course. It's not so difficult to pass this course. And of course effort would be required because it's a teacher training course. It's not a normal course. It's not a retreat, holidays. You have to perform, you have to go in the front and teach. For that you have to self-study, you have to do group assignments, you have to do self-assignment, you have to apply yourself in your free time other than classroom sessions. So if you do all that, then there's no doubt that you won't make it. But if somebody is feeling that I can have my fun, I can just have fun here doing nothing and then I'm going to get the certificate because I've paid the fee, I'm sorry to disappoint those people that that's not going to happen. And that's the thing it is. That's the thing which I'm letting you know. Because we are a professional school and we don't sell certificates here. The rest of the information is there, and I would like to finish this introduction here by saying you thank you for watching it and listening me patiently. And I know it's not enough because joining a teacher training course is should be an informed decision, and then the only effort here is to inform you more than what you would find on a website, and also to let you meet to your lead teacher. But if you still have any questions pertaining to anything, feel free to write us an email, and my manager and my team member would be really happy to assist you with that. If you feel like talking to me personally one-to-one, that option is still open. Rest of the details are related to joining, enrollment, registration. It's already on the website. Would not waste any more time here to repeat that. So thanks a lot, and I hope to see you here if you feel connected to what I have just expressed and explained. and if you feel like joining and doing this beautiful course with us, you're most welcome. Uh, and I would love to see you here who wants to join. Thanks a lot. Namaste.